I'd like to introduce you to Martin Graff, who's going to talk about the psychology of courtship. Thanks, Martin.
Yeah,
cheers.
thank you. Okay, yes, okay. Thank you. Okay, thank you. I'm going to talk a little bit about non-verbal communication, which you might know is communicating without words. Before we start, I'll try a little trick. Well, not a trick, I'll try a little something with you. I'm going to communicate with you non-verbally, and I want you to guess what I'm saying. So if you imagine I'm on the phone, you come into a room, okay? So I'm on the phone, and you've got to shout out what I'm saying to you, okay? So I'm on the phone, and I say, what am I saying? Hello? Excellent, okay. Right, and I go, next one I go, on the phone, I'm on the phone, I'm on the phone with my mother-in-law, yeah, right. And I go, right, okay.
I can hear you clearly.
10 minutes, I'll be on the phone for 10 minutes, cool, okay, right. And then I say, right, okay, I'll call you, excellent. Okay, something like that, okay. So you got that. So you got the message non-verbally. I didn't have to say anything, so you got the message non-verbally. Anyway, I'm going to talk about non-verbal communication in human courtship, principally sex, I suppose. And just I kind of got interested in this because a lecturer as an undergraduate who said there was a fairly good positive correlation between the amount of sex you have and how happy you are. Okay, so he said we'll try this in the lecture now. I want you to put your hands up if you have sex every night. So how many people have sex every night? Yeah, we do. Okay, how many people have sex about twice a week? Yeah, we do. How many people have sex about sort of once every 2 weeks? Yeah. Once a month? Yeah. Once every 6 months? Once a year? Yeah. Count backwards. Yeah. So that doesn't quite fit. How come you're so happy? Well, it's tonight. Okay. Anyway, enough of that. When we want to negotiate sex, we don't just sort of say to somebody, do you want to have sex? You don't come in the evening and go, evening dear, sex date? Cool, okay, right. You don't do that. We do it. Well, it might do. There you go. Okay. Normally, apart from the gentleman here, we employ what we call in psychology scripts. Okay, scripts in psychology are little things which you expect to happen, or sequences of things which happen, in a kind of sequence. We have relationship scripts. So if you want to have sex with somebody, there's going to be like a first move. Somebody has to make the first move. It's usually indirect, usually sort of non-verbally, sort of negotiated, like turning down the lights, perhaps. I'm a really subtle guy, and I turn the lights, moving a bit closer, kind of thing. That kind of thing, which we do when we want to have sex. Okay, anyway, these people here, Pepper and Fox, they looked at not how people have sex, but how people go to bars and they kind of negotiate hooking up with someone else over the course of the evening. They went to singles bars in North America. We don't have singles bars here, do we, in the UK, but they have singles bars in North America where single people can go and try to hook up with other people, okay? And they sat there in the bar in the night, sort of watching other people and how they got to interact with other people, okay? They, on this kind of night or several nights of observation, they came up with 3 different stages, okay? One was approach. In other words, somebody has to approach somebody else. The second stage was swivel and synchronize, which is when you approach somebody, you have to sort of sit there and sort of swivel around and synchronize. I'll go through this in more detail. The third stage, or escalation point they called it, was the touch stage. Okay. What they also noticed was that of these stages people went through, females were far more aware of the stages than males. Okay, so guys just a bit dull, you don't know what's going on. Females far more aware of what was going on. I don't exactly know how they worked this out. Only that when people actually sort of hooked up and left the bar after at the end of the night, then they obviously sort of psychologists caught up with them with clipboards and said, sorry, before you go, can you answer a few questions, which kind of maybe spoilt the mood just a little. Anyway, I'm going to go through each of these stages in turn and what kind of non-verbal behaviour occurs at each stage. Okay, so firstly, you're going to look at the approach stage, and the kinds of things which happen in the approach stage. Well, if you kind of like someone in a bar. Obviously, psychologists tell us something we don't know. You have to approach somebody really, because you're not going to shout at the end of the bar, "Hey, I quite like you." You have to approach them. So when you approach and you smile. Okay. I'm just going to digress a little. There are things which psychologists know about smiling, which maybe we all know, but how to tell the difference between sort of fake smiles and genuine smiles. And this gentleman here is displaying either a fake or a genuine smile. So what things do we have to look for? Well, firstly, according to Paul Ekman, okay, insincere smiles tend to be slightly asymmetrical. Okay, so I don't know how you do that. You're going to kind of, all right. It's an asymmetrical smile if it's a fake smile. Secondly, the time of the onset is slightly delayed, rather like if somebody tells you a joke and you don't find it funny, but you feel you have to laugh, so they get to the end of the line and they get to the punchline, you go, "Oh yeah, oh ha ha ha," and you have to. The timing of the onset is slightly delayed. Thirdly, insincere smiles tend to last longer. They tend to be fixed. So when somebody tells you a joke which you don't really think is funny, you kind of the smile stays in your face a lot longer, and you don't, the smile doesn't go away. And the other one is that generally a sincere smile is what we call a full facial smile. Okay, so it involves muscles around the eyes called orbicularis oculi, muscles around the eyes. Insincere smiles are generally lower face smiles, which just involves this zygomaticus major muscle in the lower part of your face. So if you've watched things like, what's it called, Lie to Me on Sky 1 years ago, the guy there was supposed to be Paul Ekman, okay, would kind of tell you that. Okay, the other thing you do then when you approach somebody, you approach with a facial expression. One facial expression which we tend to display is the eyebrow flash. So if you kind of notice this, when people come, walk past it, they go, "Hello." Okay, they do the eyebrow.